Hello guys, so welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Bonaventure Chukudi, but you can call me Bonarine. So I'm the founder of Bonarine Tech Hub, a web-based company that teaches people how to code and also builds projects for people. So today we'll be building a pagination in ReactJS without a CSS framework. Yeah, without a CSS framework. And the pagination is going to function like it's going to have a pre button, a next button, and it's going to be clickable. When you click on a particular page, it takes you to that page. Now to get started, we are going to first of all create our project. Yeah, we started like this. Create a folder. Let's call it pagination. We open with code. Yeah. So we open with code, and since we'll be building it, you can build it with any framework you want. So let me just try with React.js like I said earlier. Now first of all, install React using create React app. In the current directory. Now I have yarn and npm installed, so I'm going to specify npm. So like this, create React app, the name of the app, or you put full stop for it to install it in the current folder you are in. Then add use npm if you have yarn or npm, but you can still use yarn if you want. So we wait while it installs. So now the app is done installing, so you can start it by running npm start. So it's running on the browser, so let's just undo this. So we can see it side by side. So first of all, we clean up this file. So we clean up everything, every default project here, remove them all. So we create a new project. We create a new stuff inside it. We create a new function. Call it app. So it's going to be displayed here. Now the first thing to do is to get rid of this index.css because I've already created mine. So I can just put it here. Already. So this is my style. So you can take a look at it or go to Bonarine / the pagination project on my GitHub here. Here to see the styles, So after doing that, so we are going to start by creating a new folder. So we're going to call it a new folder. We'll call it components. So we're going to create another folder inside the src. We're going to call it variables. Sorry, I'm going to delete this. So inside the src, create a new folder called variables. So inside the variables, we create a new file called data.js. So essentially, data.js will be the files we'll be making use of. The array we'll be making use of to build up our table and the React and the pagination. I can just paste it here. So it's just an array of an object, and the object contains football clubs, the long, for example, this, and the short for this, and the country it comes from. Now, having done that, so we can now head over to our components. Let's just create our first component, call it table.js, and over here, you can just create our table component like this. ReactJS. By the way, you can install something called ES6/ES7 extension from the extension marketplace. So this, it will help you write your code faster. This ES7 React Redux React native snippets will help you write your code very much smarter and faster. Okay, so this is the table component. So we want to render it in the app. So something like this. Table, bring it in. So it's not showing because of what we already did, the style we already put. So if I come over here now and let's say I take this out, you see it shows. So we can just bring it back and code our way in. Now the first thing we're going to do now is to build out the table. Now we're going to start by doing this. First of all, let's give this table a class name of table container. Let's use a class name of table container. So that's, I think the table container here, take a look at it here. Table container, this is the table container. Okay, so we create a table with a class name of table. So class name, not just class, because class name of table, and inside it, so we're going to have a caption that says pagination and ReactJS without a CSS framework, like this. So pagination like this. So the next one is going to be the T head, remember, and inside the T head we're going to have a T row, and we're going to have TH into 3 places like this. So here we're going to stand for the long, remember, in the data. Here will be for the shorts. Also give it a class name of center, and the last one will be the country. Take a look at it here. Refresh. Now we're going to have the T body. So to have the T body, we have to map through the data.js to the football list here, this array here. Now we're going to import the football array. So import football like this. So to do that, let's just create a state. Just to make our work a little bit cleaner and done in the React way. So use state, read it in, then put our football like this. Now we're now going to iterate through the list to create our body. So like this. So look at what we do here. So we do list, that is, if list exists, then map through it, and no. So we're going to take x and I, which stands for the list, the item and its index. So from inside the x, the item, we're going to destructure our long, short, and country from it. Sorry, it's supposed to be this country from the x or the item. Now having done that, we'll return a t row like this, return this, and has a key of index. So probably in a bigger project, or in a big project, they are definitely going to use the ID of that item to do the key. If you don't do that, you might not get something very okay. You might behave inconsistently when you use the index. So having done this, so we'll bring in our td of long, and then td of short. Now we are going to give it a class name of center like this. So we'll have td of country, table description, actually country. Having done this, we save. So we have this. So essentially it's from this data here that we created this. Now I think we are done with the data and the styling. So here after doing this, we go over to creating our pagination. Now our pagination essentially is going to have next, the array, the number of pages it has, and then the prev. So to do that, let's create our second component and call it pagination. Pagination.js. Now here, so just racfd. So essentially, this pagination will take in the page, the current page it is on. Now the number of pages that exist, a function called an onClick function, a function too that handles the previous, and another function that handles the next page. Yeah. So we'll start by creating an ordered list that takes in a class name of pages container. Class name of pages container, and the first item is going to have a class name of page item. So it's going to be the prev. Now this, before we leave this place, now we're going to have an onClick event, and when it's being clicked, I want you to take in the prev handler function to run the prev handler function. Now let's do that for the next handler. So this is next, okay, next handler, not handler. So this is next. So in between the next and the brief, I just have an array that we'll create that using the pages. Then we use the pages to convert it to an array. Yeah, convert it to an array. It's essentially give us the pages we have on a particular page. So something like this. So I can achieve that by doing this. We spread our array from existing array in JavaScript. Then we mat.seal the pages. Then we get the keys essentially. Now with this we can just map this. So we get our x and we get our I. So this essentially we return an li and li. So here in the center we're going to have x plus 1. So you can actually, before you do this, let's console the log, the x, console the log. So we come over here and just below the T body, right? Let's put it here below the table. All right, should it be there? So let's keep it below the table. So pagination. So the pagination is going to take in, very essential, the page. Let's say page 1. Then the pages. So let's say it has 5 pages. So something like this, you see. So that is what we've done. It has 5 pages. If you take a look at it here, 5 pages. And if you console the log of this, you're going to have 0 to 1. Yeah, that is what you're going to have now. Let's look at it in the depth too. Yeah. See it, right? 0 to 4. Now let's go over to this place, pagination. Now over here we'll give the li a key that is actually I. Now I'm going to give it a class name, but this class name is going to check if the page -1, the current page index or number -1 is strictly equal to the index over here. If that is the case, therefore give it a class name of active and also page item. Else give it only a class name of page item. Already I've created the style like I told you earlier. Now having done that, just take a look. See, current page is page 1. So if you come over here and change it to page 3, it's going to be affected here. So now going to give it an onClick event handler, check for a click event handler, then take the event, then run the onClick, this onClick here. That's coming from the that will be coming from the table. So we run this and event dot target dot inner text. So the inner text is actually the number in it. So I think we are done with the pagination. So let's take a look at it to understand what we have done. Now over to the table component. Essentially we won't be hard coding the page and the pages. So it's going to come in dynamically, and we're going to give it a functionality so that it can be toggled, and you can use any page size you want, any the length or whatever, and you're going to have your components still working properly. Now the first thing to do over here in order to achieve that is to create a page size variable. So essentially I'll be making use of 5, so you can make use of any number you want. Now we're going to get the page length. Now when I'm talking about the page length is like if you will have 20 items in a list or in an array, and the page size is essentially 5, then the page length is supposed to be 20 divided by the page size, which is 20 divided by 5, and it gives us 4. So it gives us essentially 4 pages. That's what I just mean here. Page size just like the pages. Now so the pages in this particular one is going to come from the football length, the length of the football array, divided by the page size. Now the next thing to do is to create the page state and set state. So the first page we're going to have is the page 1, just like I've shown here. Okay, something like this. I've done like this. So the page 1, and yeah, that is it for the state. Now because you don't want to be hard coding this all together, now the state is going to actually, for the list, is now going to be, for the initial list, is going to be the football dot slice. We slice it. Now we slice it from, we start slicing it from the page -1. So whatever it is, whatever the page is, remove 1 from it, and then we get page times the page size. So stop at the current page, multiplied by the page size. So if the current page is page 1, you multiply it by the page size, whatever it gives you. So you're going to start from, it's going to slice it from the page -1. So if the page is 1, it's going to be 0, from 0 to the page times the page size. So if the current page is 2, it's 1, and the page size is 5, so it's going to be 1 times 5. So it's going to start from an index of 0 and stop at the index of 5. So if it increases, let's say it increases to, and now click on the third page, it's now going to be the page -1, which is from the second index, and then it starts from the second index to the page times page size, which is 3 times the page size, and the page size is let's say the page size is 15. Starts from 2 to 15. Yeah, that's just it. So over here we have this already. Now instead of hard coding this, let's just put the page, and then we put the pages, which is page length, like this. So essentially we have 9 pages, and it doesn't really work at the moment. We have 9 pages. We have 9 pages here. So we look at the handlers now. Take a look at the handlers. So there's a mistake here. So this is supposed to be page -1 multiplied by the page size. So instead of, like I said earlier, it's not just going to be the page -1, just like that. So if the current page is 3, If the current page we've selected is 3, so it's going to do it like this: 3 minus 1, which is 2, multiplied by the page size. So 2 times the page size of 5 is 10. So it's going to start from an index, going to slice the array from an index of 5 and stop at the index of page times the page size. So the page, let's say the page is 3, so 3 times 5, 15. If you look at it, essentially just mapping out 5, only just slicing out and giving us only 5 arrays, 5 items in the array. So that way you increase the page and the rest is going to work. Now we're going to write the handlers. Now we'll start with the most basic one, which is the most important one, which is the one for the on click. So we call it handle. Let's call the function handle page. Now this handle page we take in a parameter of the page called the page. Now we set first of all, once the handle page is called, we set page to the page passed in as a param. Now we are going to create a small a const, then we take the football and we slice it again. We slice it just like what we've done earlier. This is where we now do the logic so that it will be changing dynamically. So we take the page and remove 1 from it, then multiply it by the page size. Having done that, then it should stop at the page, multiply the page size, this. Now, so after doing this, we now set the list to whatever the constant t has returned for us. So this is just it. Now down on the page, on the pagination, so we're going to do this on click. Let it on click. We are now going to, because now look, take a look at here on the pagination. So we passed in an on click, and before we will run this on click here, it takes in an event, and the event is coming from the the list item. So if you haven't done that, haven't noted that, so we can just destructure that same page event, yes, from the pagination component, the page event, we can destructure it out and now run the handle page function with the page event. So since we've done this, we can now use the click and it works, right? You understand what I mean? Now the next is let's look at the brief, right? Let's take a look at the brief, because obviously at the moment if you click on it, it's going to fail. And let's look at the brief handler. So to handle the brief, create another function called brief handler on the page. We're going to do some logic here. Now if the page passed in as a param is strictly equal to 1, let's handle page and just convert it to 1. Else we're going to handle page and then pass in essentially our number, convert our page minus 1. So if the page is 2, if the page is equal to 1, let the handle page take in a parameter of 1. Else, if the page is not equal to 1, let the handle page take in a param of, excuse me, let it take in a parameter of the page minus 1. So if the page is, if the current page is 5, clicking on proof is going to give us the page of 4. So that is what we've done here. And over here we can just pass in our going to pass in our pref handler. So our pref handler is going to take in an inline function that will give us our pref handler and the page, okay, like this. So we are here, can click on this and it's going to work. So whenever it gets to this place, it always be resetting itself to 1. Okay, so you can even decide to make this mute so it doesn't work whenever you are on the first page. So it works. Now the next thing to do is to create the next handler. So the next handler, it works similarly like the pref handler, but a bit easier. Now it's going to take the page, going to take two props, the page and then the page, then the page length. Now if the page is less than the page length, if that is true, if the current page selected is less than the page size, page and not page size, page length. So if the page is less than the page length, if that is true, then let's handle page and then add 1 to whatever the value of the page is, plus 1. So this, oh, it doesn't work, sorry. Let's just add it here. So we have our next handler. So it's going to take in a function, an inline function, obviously, an inline function that goes to next handler, that passes next handler, takes in the page and the page length, like this. So we click on this and we have our pagination working. So congratulations guys, getting to the end of this tutorial. If you really enjoyed it, click on the subscribe button, like on the video and share, and come back for more tutorial like this. So thank you very much and do have a nice day. I still remember Bonaventure Chukudi, can call me Bonaran. Goodbye.